Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. It's National Put Your Hat On Day today. Even the bedhead wasn't doing it for me today, so I put a hat on for you. You're welcome. I have some thank yous to shout about. Michelle, thank you. Always thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I got a check from Judy, and I got a check from Cynthia. I got some lovely pigments from Laura. I don't know how to use those yet, but I'm going to find out. I got an amazing something something from Cynthia. I don't even want to show you because you're going to be so jealous. I got a hot doll, and there's some amazing faces in this one. This is July, August of 2015. Pretty incredible. I got a package, another package here. I think there's a note in here from Jessica. Jessica, thank you. A whole package of goodies in here. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So is that, I think that's what I got within the last couple of days. So thank you for those. Let's talk about our project for today. We're going to do some Citra Solv pages and then use them in our project. So I don't want to talk your ear off. It's kind of a long video, so see you on the table. So Kat, this project is for you because we made a little pop-up window here in her head, in her hat, however you see that, and there's an older woman inside her head. So I don't know how you want to interpret it, but this is our project for today. We used our Citra Solv pages and acrylic paint. Let me see if I can be mindful for a minute here. We used Citra Solv pages. I put down underpants first. Do that, don't do that. Artist's choice. Underpants, Citra Solv pages. I did some affirmations with a white paint pen. A couple of different colored acrylic paints. Bubble wrap. Circles with a lid. Stabilo. Focal point on cardboard so that I could make a window, the focal point inside the window, and more Stabilo. So I'm a little bit scattered this morning. We have family visiting, and we all know how that is. So I'm starting a new book. It's a taller book so that I can use taller focal points. And so I'm going to go to the thread part of the signature. And this is a little bit fragile, so I'm going to take out one side at a time, I think. What's with the fragile books, huh? These are nice thick pages. All right, and keeping in mind that I do want to keep a healthy book, I'm going to leave that in the center, and I believe I can get away with 2 pages glued together on this one. So I am just planning to work on 1 page at a time. Lots of goobers in my Mod Podge, love that. And we have made the Citra Solv pages, so let's play with those a little bit today, shall we? Hate to close the book because then it's so darn hard to find what I just did. Okay, there we go. All right, so I am going to put some underpants on some of this. Maybe we're just going to go right to the Citra Solv sheets. that we have created, which are very, very fun and playful and colorful. Here they are. So I am going to just rip a few. And I'm just going through the stack. And I'm ripping them so that I do not have a white edge. The white edge is left behind. And that means I tear the Citra Solv sheet toward myself. This one I've already been into. And I'm just going through the stack so that I can get some variety of colors. All right, let's just say that that is enough. Oh, and they still smell so good. All right, I am going to put some underpants around the edge. Some old pages. I'm going to use some old pages for the underpants around the edge. So put underpants down. Don't put underpants down. Artist's choice, okay? Now normally in my old pages that I use for the underpants, I remove the white edge, but this edge is so gorgeously yellowed that I am going to preserve that, which makes me very happy. Now I'm going to bring the Citra Solv pages back in. And I'm just going to start at the top and layer them down. And the Citra Solv papers, I am better about putting them down at an angle. Because my other underpants I put on so straight. But these I really like to get that layered look. Like a terrain. I'm not being too picky about which one I'm grabbing. I'm just grabbing one. They're all gorgeous. And it's kind of fun to play with something new for a background. And you'll probably get some gorgeous wrinkles. Embrace the wrinkles, my friend. Embrace the wrinkles, my friends, I should say. If those wrinkles bother you, then take your time. Put them down with a credit card or a squeegee so that it works all of those out. I am embracing them. All right, I have a lot of excess on the sides. We'll deal with that after it dries. I have cut some things out to play with for a focal point. And I'm going to collage them together. She is not going to be part of this part, but I'm going to collage these together on, it's probably like a cereal box, a bit of cardboard. So I will build my collage. I know I want that there. I want that just to the edge of her mouth. I know I want that. And I also know that I want her to have these eyes. She's kind of a mask, so I'm giving her some eyes behind there. Watch her transform right before our very eyes. I better check the size of my page before I go too crazy here, because I want her to fit on the page. Okay, she's going to pretty much fit. Pretty much. So I said I was going to build it on the cardboard, and then I went ahead and built it on my Teflon sheet, but we're going to put her together. We'll put her over here when we get her together. All right, she's pretty awesome. Now I'm going to put some Mod Podge on the back of her. And put her down on that cereal box. I'd love it if she did not have a bunch of wrinkles. So I'm going to start at the center. Come on, girl. And carefully squeegee her out. She is pretty fun already. All right, now I'm going to take my X-Acto and I'm just going to cut her out to the best of my ability. I am going to put my cutting mat under there and just go around and cut her out. I would rather see you get too close than too far from your image. Okay, so if you cut just a little bit of that image out, that's fine. But I would rather see you do that than leave some of that cardboard behind. So get as close to your image as you can. The Stabilo can pick up and repair some of the raw edges, but if it's got too much cardboard there, or too much space there, it doesn't work so well. So get nice and close. Okay, let's chat for a bit. See how I pulled this area up? It's because this area was not dry. If you have the patience to let it dry, please do. See these white spots here? These are where I've touched it with my fingers with Mod Podge on my fingers, and so it lifted the color. With magazines, the color is very much on the top layer, so be careful if that kind of stuff bothers you. Me, yeah, not so much. So I'm not happy to see them, but I certainly accept them, and I am okay with that. Okay, I have gone around her, and what I'll do is go back in and see where it's connected. I encourage you to disconnect it with your X-Acto and not rip it. When it's stuck in a place, go back in with your X-Acto and find where it's connected, rather than ripping it. You just take the chance of ripping into your image. Got a job for a Stabilo right there, don't we? Repair that little spot. It's okay. So just go through your whole image, make sure it's all disconnected. Now when I bring my focal point back in, she's about the right size. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Doesn't she look great on there? Oh my goodness. All right, how can we muck this up a little bit, huh? How can we grunge this up? Better make sure it's dry. All right, that feels pretty dry. So we can go back to the original pages here. Still a little wet, that's all right. It's tearing nicely. And I'm just going to remove that outer edge that we don't need on the piece. All right, I've decided to use this as an affirmation piece, so I grabbed a white gel pen, and I am just going to write myself, I am enough, I do enough, I am more than enough, I do more than enough. And I'm just going to continue down this page with that affirmation. I think sometimes I am, I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be a lot and to do a lot. So I think it's important that I am more than. I think it's important that we acknowledge that we are enough and we do enough, and we are more than enough and we do more than enough. And be at peace with ourselves when we get tired and need a rest, and be at peace with ourselves when we ask for help from others, because people love us and they would like to help us, and we need to be impeccable with our word and vulnerable and allow other people to help us and allow ourselves to feel enough. Enough. More than enough. So I'm going to finish my affirmations on this page. I am more than enough. I do more than enough. And this has no bearing on what other people think of us. It's what we think of ourselves. So I'm going to finish this. And I finished my affirmation page with I am amazing. And I am amazing. And it's okay for me to say that. It's not boastful. It's just my truth. I am amazing. I'm going to grab some of the turquoise paint and my silicone brush, which I adore. This may move the ink that I just put down. I don't know. Don't care. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. So I am playing with the colors that are in the background. So there was some turquoise, there's some purple, there's some yellow, kind of a burgundy color. So I brought the turquoise back in with the silicone brush. Now I'm going to bring some yellow back in on some bubble wrap. So there's my yellow paint. And I'm just going to put some on the bubble wrap with my silicone brush. You can do this with your brush. You can do this with a credit card. You certainly don't need to have the silicone brush, but I can tell you, pretty fun. All right, now I'm going to take this and just lay that bubble wrap on there and get some circles. And the bubble wrap does not create a perfect circle, which I really like. I like the wonkiness of the bubble wrap. Looking for layers. We're getting them. I know the focal point's in the center there, so I'm not really concerned about it. Gorgeous. All right, I'm going to scoop this paint back up and put it back in my bottle. Okay, so we have some writing on the background, and then we have some circles in the background. And I just put some lovely purple paint on my workspace. And I'm just going to make some lines. I'm using my squeegee. A credit card will work. Or if you have a stencil with lines that you would prefer to work with. I like it. All right, let's let it dry. I'm going to take a paper towel and just absorb a little bit of that purple so that it's not so solid. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to let it dry. I'm going to take some sandpaper in, rip it up a little bit. This is when we will see some fun ridges from those wrinkles in the Citra Solv pages. Nice and grungy. I'm going to bring that turquoise back in. And I'm going to use the lid of that craft paint. And I'm going to just put some circles around. Grab that paper towel that had the purple on it, absorb some of this turquoise paint. And let this dry. I am going to grab my silicone brush and some Mod Podge, and I'm just going to glue everything back down that I have sanded up. Make everything flat again. And let that dry. That'll have a nice little sheen to it now. Oh, I love it. Now I haven't done this in a long time and I really enjoy it. I'm going to go back in on these circles and I'm just going to put some Stabilo. Oh, my page is warm. Put some Stabilo on the inside of those circles. Shade them in like that. Oh, I do love what happens there. And you can do that to as many circles as you want on your page. And I usually stick to the same area on each circle. Usually like the upper left-hand corner for me. So I grabbed the Pure Sunshine spray ink. And we will let that dry. So there's our amazing background. Love it. So sometimes on the magazine pages it can get blotchy from Mod Podge in some places and not Mod Podge in other places. So I'm just putting a layer of Mod Podge on her so that she has the same semi-gloss, I'll say. It's actually a matte Mod Podge that I work with, but it kind of gives her the same semi-gloss appearance on the whole magazine image for our focal point. So this is the image that I chose for inside her head. Interpret that however you want. What I have to figure out is how big do I want the window in her head to expose that image. So I want a window in her, or a door pull up in her head to expose the image of that woman. So how big do I want it? And I'm just making myself a template because I have a tendency to not do it right the first time. Not do it right. Oh, I'd love it that big. Can we do that? Hate to cut into that flower. Can we get away with a little smaller? We're going to try. So this is just a trial and error here to get it to, that's why we're making a template. Get it to a size that will work. And we need enough image on this side so that it actually does create a pull-up. I'm going to go just a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think we're going to go that size. Oh, my tummy. That was a good growl, actually. All right, we're going to do it. We are going to do it. So, need a little bit more on that edge. All right, we're going to do it right there. Everybody hold their breath. Bring this in. My X-Acto. You know that my lines are perfectly straight. Not. And I'm going to go all the way through that piece of cardboard in the back. Cut this window or this pop-up door, pull-up door, and my girl's head. Oh, don't you dare make texture. Okay, go back through, clean it up. I've turned her over. I know that I do not want that cereal box to be exposed. That would be bad. So I'm just going to glue a piece of the Citra Solv paper on the back there. Really sounds like I should go eat, doesn't it? Not gonna happen now. I don't want to, but I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. All right, impatience is getting the best of me. I'm going in. So I'm just going to go back through that cut that I made in her little face. I'm ignoring my stomach. It's getting harder to ignore. My. Maybe it's saying, I want coffee. All right, now a ruler that goes from there to there. Kind of crooked, I don't care. And I'm just going to fold that back. Now we have a nice lining inside there. That's good. So far, so good. All right, you think we can find our old woman again? There she is. There she is. Wonderful. So let's glue her in place. Are you bored yet? I hope not, because this is really fun. Ta-da, ta-da, right? Okay, let's bring our book back in. And this is great. So being this is cardboard and not just paper, I am going to use tacky glue on the back of her. I suppose I could just glue that down. I'm going to grab my tacky glue. So I'm just going to apply some tacky glue to the back of my focal point. My very fun focal point, might I say. So glad you guys are on the table with me today. Really, really am. And some hubby's family is in town. Some throbbing family members. I shooed them off to the coffee shop so that I could just have a moment, have a few moments, have a few of my moments. I'm going to grab my silicone brush. Just spread that out evenly. Grab up some trash along the way, why not? Bring my book back in. Place her where I want her. I have a deli sheet or wax paper or something to protect her when I put her down. And then since I can, because my book is quite flat right now, I'm actually going to sit on her. Yes, I am. Here's our amazing piece, all dry. What I want to say is, if your image here is still moist with glue, be sure to protect that while you're sitting on it. Okay? I was sitting on her and then all of a sudden I just went into a panic thinking, oh my gosh, I've just ripped her entire face off. But I was prepared to put another face in there. So I'm going to go around all the edges of my page and all the edges of my image with my Stabilo, because I'm that kind of girl. And what I want to say is I Stabilo on the edge, and I kind of bring that Stabilo up onto the edge of the focal point as well when I'm smudging. And if it doesn't go up onto the edge, I go ahead and I just put some on the edge. So, depending on how that works in your world, I put it around the edge of the focal point. If it doesn't come up on the edge a little bit, then I just add some. Then I'm going to go around the little pop-up door with some Stabilo. That'll go onto the edge, the outer edge a little bit. And I have a little something like a little paper clip that I think I'm going to put here. Actually, I'd like it here, but I think that might hang down on her nose too much. Do we want it this way? Nope, I like it. I like it a lot. So, she's wonderful. I'm going to bring in my paint pen for a few dots. Now, ta-da. I love this. That's very silly. And flip up. And there's however you want to interpret that. I can interpret that in a way, but I'm not going to. I am so going to let you figure out what that means to you. All right, go create, go play, go have fun. I certainly did. Thank you so much for joining me on the table this morning. I really needed it.